Hi there, and welcome to Story Time with Uncle Bill. And if you look, we got Nicholas Sparks, Stephen King, Stuart Woods, James Patterson. What else? We got John Grisham. Who are the big names? Dean Koontz. My man Sidney Sheldon, Robin Cook, Medical, Stephen King, of course. John Sanford, the Prey series, if you've never read that. If you're wondering what this is, folks, it's an addiction. One that I have to reading books. Those are all the books that I've read in the last, I want to say, 18 months, maybe 20. And how can you be story time with Uncle Bill if you ain't read a story or two and told one? And actually, reading came about not in school days. I was a class clown. I really wasn't interested in reading at all. I was a very good cheater in the fact that if I cheated off of you, it didn't mean I just wanted the answers. I could get the answers and then learn what the answers to the questions were. So I almost want to learn backwards. But cheating wasn't about getting the answer to me. It was always about learning. And I did quite a bit of both. I was a straight A student, pretty smart. School was easy to me. It didn't, comprehension came and all I had to do was put it on paper. So it was also boring. It became unchallenging. I'll talk about it in another video. But reading came along way after. I mean, I was in Virginia. I remember I was 18 and a half years old. And I had to use the bathroom. And my baby mama had a book. And the book was John Grisham's I hope you, man, I can't. A Time to Kill. It was A Time to Kill. I was thinking of Samuel L. Jackson when I said, "Yeah, I killed him, and I hope he burns to hell." A really good book, man. Had me captivated. And then I ended up reading all of his books, and then I got curious because I've always liked Stephen King movies, so I went for a Stephen King book. And turns out his books are just as good as his movies. Some of the books are way better than the movies, and a couple of them books really sucked me, man. I don't know why they were so good. Then I got into classics. No, that one book, and that was the only book I read for a long time. So I went to county jail and prison, and then it just took off. I mean, I was hooked because I would read. Sometimes you would go to a place and they'd only have 10, 15 books. Sometimes they had libraries. Sometimes they just had a bookshelf. But if I stayed there any amount of time, I could almost read all the books. I mean, it was a way to pass time. And that's one of the things you got to learn to do with addiction is you got to learn to pass time by yourself without having, because the idle mind's the devil's playground. And the bad things are always going to creep in because in your head, they're good. You get some kind of pleasure. You get some kind of enjoyment. It triggers the sensors in your brain and you have to find something else. You have to do something else in order to combat this every single time because it only takes one time. You could be fine for 30 years and get around somebody, oh, let's do this line of coke, and it's just happened recently. Recently, this one of my friends called me up and said, hey, I had this happen. Somebody that ain't did drugs in 10 years decided they wanted to damn shoot up heroin because they got around their buddy and needed to be Narcan back to life because they were dead. Just talked about that too. And that's what overcoming addiction really is about. It's about finding something else. And reading turned out to be one of the biggest things. And then the crazy thing is, I don't read recreationally, meaning the fact that I don't get up in the morning and go, hey, look, think I'll just read a book. That never happens. Or in the middle of the afternoon, or right before I go to bed, or any time during the day, other than I'm using the bathroom. That's it. So if you see all them books, anytime I ever tell anybody, and they see a bookshelf behind me like that, it's like, when you read all these books? I went to the bathroom. Well, you're straight full of shit, aren't you? And then you look, and it's like, I might be, damn. Because I don't sit in there, and one of the things you got to understand, and if you don't know about using the bathroom, taking a shit, you're not supposed to be sitting on the toilet that long. The longer you sit there, the more vulnerable you are to things happening to your body, believe it or not, like hemorrhoids. And if you never had those, you don't want them. Trust me, Lord have mercy, you don't. The pain, when I got shot, those pain meds, man, pain meds will constipate the hell out of you. Them opiates, it ain't worth it. And there's a lot of the stuff you don't see up here is the medical stuff that I read all the time, because I do that on a computer. I'm constantly checking. Have been my whole life. I mean, if you come to me and say, "Hey, I got this," we can talk about that, because I've ran across it with a lot of people. I've always been interested in the medical field. I've always been interested in nature. I've always been interested in weather. I mean, most of everything that a little boy does, and probably none of the stuff girls are into. I mean, I even had to tell my little girl, I mean, listen, I'll do anything in the world with you that you want to do and shit, but you got to tell me, because your daddy's all boy. And I'll play teacups, and we'll play waitress and patty cakes, and I'll turn into a big baby girl if that's what I need to do. But as far as actually just being that's not me. And just being honest, you know what I mean? So you got to be honest. And the books was the escape, man. I mean, and there's always, and see, sometimes what I found with people and reading books is that, hell with a book, they're boring, I can't get into it. There's something. Oh, I promise you, there's something. For everything that you can have an interest in, you can find a book and get lost in it and learn something from it. And that's probably the most important thing. You have to have that gratification. You have to have that sense of accomplishment. You got to have the wonder. A book. When you read a good book, it should, as soon as you put it down, you should almost want to pick it right back up. Most of these books behind me most of the authors, if you heard me say their names, James Patterson, Stuart Woods, John Grisham, Nicholas Sparks, if you're into real romance, Stephen King if you're into horror, Dean Koontz if you're into horror. John Sanford's got a Prey series. Man, I wonder if that's, I hate to say the name and be wrong. But they got different series. So if you're into detectives, you're into cowboys. I got some cowboy books up there. I got some a little bit of everything. Mac Mullen's a military guy, the executioner. And every author might have a little series. Like Stephen King's got the one that you might not even think about. The Stand. No, not The Stand. The Drawing of the Three is the Gunslinger. The Gunslinger series. Yeah. Oh man, totally different. Blow your mind. First three books is one of my probably some of my favorites of all time. The movie, because I did time in federal prison. So county jail and prison movies and documentaries. I watch those almost every day. I watch prison channels, Larry Lawton. After prison show, Joe Guerrero, but he switched over to another channel. Joe does stuff. There's 23 and 1. There's quite a few of them. Then they got Locked Up Abroad, 60 Days In, Scared Straight. The big time prison documentary one though is World's Worst Prisons. Man, you go down to Mexico, you go down to the Philippines, you go down to Africa. Lord have mercy. They got you in there like cockroaches with the cockroaches and rats. It's bad. Like they literally every hour shift and your asshole to elbow. Man, not ever interested in going in nobody else's country now because I got them always have that red alert on me. I mean, you got to imagine I got busted with weed, folks. So you think like most people, most countries won't never let me in. I could walk around naked and they still wouldn't let me do it. That's the price I got to pay for the whole rest of my life. And you know, I really want to go at all the places on earth that you could. Australia. They ain't letting me in. Might be able to go to New Zealand. And I really don't want to cross that ocean anyway. I mean, it's not no excitement to me. But if there was, I can't never go. I mean, my man, uh, Johnny Scoville, he trying to get over to Australia. He got a ticket with DWI, but they still ain't. It's been. I thought he was going back in February, so I can cancel Christmas on that. But what I can do is read about Australia, and I have read a lot of books. But the computer really has just taken over because most people really don't want to read stuff. But it really is worth it, and especially if like the internet could go down, your phone could go down, and you could just be by yourself, and you have to do something. I promise you, you have to do something, and a book might be that escape. So I would suggest looking into. I've said some good name authors, and there's so many more. I mean, it's just all up to you. Because what it is with addiction is you got to find it in yourself to overcome the thing that's causing you the problem, the thing that's destroying you. You know, and a lot of people, when I hear addiction, the very first thing I think about is drugs. But I know all the what addictions could be because it could be work, it could be sex, it could be money, it could be gambling, it could be sports card, and it could be good things too. It could be like beach finds and books and coin collecting and even baseball cards. I mean, if you know, you could spend all your money and then all of a sudden you say, hey, wait a minute, I'm going to turn around and sell my cards, and you might come out even, maybe a little ahead, but not as broke. And the great thing about this, okay, so when you're thinking about overcoming addictions and stuff, it has to be inexpensive because you probably don't have a lot of money because you spend all your money on your addiction. And accessible. Every one of these books, you see some of them got like red stickers and green stickers and stuff, came from a thrift store. Quarter. Hardbacks for 50 cents. And I didn't even want them, but I don't know why I got them. Maybe I needed a book and there wasn't nothing else. I don't know. And I always try to read the Bible. In the Gray series, I don't know if you've ever read this, but 50 Shades of Grey, man, I remember when they came out with that book and they would talk about it was all hot and that. It's okay. I got way better stories than that. I don't know if they let me tell them on YouTube. But we'll find a way. Because all that's coming, you're supposed to, I mean, it's my life. So, because one of the addictions that I have had, may still have, is the sexual addiction. There is no doubt about that. Your boy likes to get down. I mean, just is what it is. As much as I like one thing, I like all my other addictions just as equal. And I put just as much pride and effort in each one of these things too. So, it just is what it is. So if you are suffering from addiction, man, and you ain't never read a book, I suggest it. Most people a little surprised, like, hey, I didn't know you read. Yeah, I read every single day, 2-3 times a day. Only when I'm in the bathroom. And the same thing. It reminds me that I mean, one of the things you really want to focus on, because this is a weightlifting channel, a weight loss channel, is taking care of your body. And one of the best things that you could do for yourself is your gut health, meaning going to the bathroom, taking a shit, and however you want to say, excuse my language. But really, that's because there's a lot of things that can happen. A lot of bad things could happen if you're not really flushing your system out. So you got to be eating, strong fiber foods and making sure you have you're hydrated plenty, because all that stuff, it'll slow you down, and well, you just don't. It's just bad. It's really bad. And you hear it a lot. I didn't hear it a lot growing up when I was younger. Gut health, gut health, gut health. But it is now. So they got the probiotics, and they got all the fiber supplements, and now they make amped up like double fiber bread, or 15 grams of fiber per slice of bread. You know what I mean? Called to push the poop. Got to push the poop. So when I use the bathroom, I'm reading a book, we can see that I'm pushing the poop pretty good. So this is actually a pretty good addiction. One that I recommend to everybody. All you can do is learn something. If you look behind me, all my stuff is just made up stories by somebody's head. Most of it's not factual stuff. I read that on the. I don't even consider most things fact. I'm done learning with all that. I just want to watch people's YouTube channel now. Support YouTube channel. That's all I want to do, folks. Straight up, make my videos and watch you guys' videos, because I enjoy it. If you see me, I'm on your channel and I'm all leaving likes and comments. I'm enjoying the shit. I'm gonna watch it all the way through the end, because I know it's your effort. It's your effort. It's your best effort, and I like it. I really do. I hope everybody's having a good day and staying safe. If you can, hit that like button, share the video, subscribe if you haven't. Read on, people. Peace.